Hello, I'm Daniel Leon Kidd, and I have to talk about Hype House. Hype House, I think it's a great show. A lot of people were dragging it. I loved it. I fucking loved Hype House. Um, there, there's a bunch of niggas in that show. Niggas. There's a bunch of whites in the show, but I fucked with half of them. Didn't fuck with the other half of them heavy. There was the people I fucked with: Thomas, Mia, Alex Cover, Vinny, sometimes, Michael. That's it. Those are my faves. Now, I'm going to talk about the people I fucked with in the Hype House, and then we'll talk about the people I didn't fuck with. Now, I didn't know anything about anyone in this house except for Lorray. I followed Lorray because I found Lorray through Twains, through Issa. Um, but I wouldn't say I was a fan of Lorray. I just kept up with what he was doing because he was interesting. I wouldn't call myself a fan. I was a bystander fan, if you will. I didn't like him, but I didn't hate him, but he was interesting. So it's like I supported him because I supported him doing him, but he wasn't someone that I looked for. But when I came across his videos, I sat and watched, and I would say I would leave entertained. Wouldn't call myself a fan. Didn't follow him, wasn't subscribed until a few years after watching him for a while, but wasn't a fan. Probably still wouldn't call myself a fan, but he's interesting. He's probably one of the least problematic of the bunch, if you will. I fuck with Thomas for the simple fact. Now, the only thing I knew about Thomas was this whole thing with Daisy, where it's like, who created Hype House and da 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 da. So I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But I fuck with Thomas. If I had to fuck with anybody in real life, I will fuck with Thomas and Mia because Mia stood by her fucking man. Ain't nobody, people were talking about, oh, Mia was loud and she was yelling and doing the screaming. Bitch, fucking, if Thomas had that behind him, Mia would have had to do what she did, but Mia was standing up for her mans. Mia was standing, and I respect that. Now, Thomas, he pretty much was trying to make Hype House, like, in his words, like a Nickelodeon or a Disney Channel to spawn, like, the Ariana Grandes of TikTok. And he did pretty damn well. You have Dixie D'Amelio, Charlie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, Avani, and now Little Hey. And don't even get me started with that shit. But he has pretty much been the backbone and the driving force of Hype House, trying to keep it going. And this show, that another great thing about this show is that this show said everything that the Gen Pop felt about TikTokers and TikTok musicians and whatever the case is. And they acknowledge it. So I'm like, there's no way that these people don't know what the fuck the Gen Pop thinks of them. And that's why I'm glad that this show exists, because it's like they they pretty much said, we know what the fuck the world thinks of us and we just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, hey girl, do your thing. So anyway, Thomas said one of these things of, these TikTokers try to have music careers and they pretty much leave TikTok behind, forgetting that people are fucking with them because of who they are, not because of their music. And it's easy to get the TikTok, 14-year-old girls to fuck with their music, but then they end up, sometimes their shit's just not good enough to really have a career in music. Like, you're a TikToker who makes music. And I feel like I was so glad he said that, because I personally believe he probably fucked. Chase's music has gotten better. The music that he has out as of now is not good. period. He had a song that he previewed around New Year's on TikTok that I was like, oh, okay, you know, he has a songwriter that's like really, really helping him, but the music that he has out of now is not good. I can say that because I go to school for music, I make music, go on my YouTube. I'm not going to say anything and critique something that I don't know anything about. Check the receipts. So I feel confident when I say Chase just is not good. I wouldn't say he's not talented because he can get better, but as of now, the talent is just not showcased in what he has out. Neither here nor there. But I'm so glad Thomas said that. And Thomas is pretty much just like, you know, Chase wants to live rent-free in a hype house, in Hype House B, without doing hype house shit. And I was like, and for me, and that's why I had to check myself and just sit down and record the video. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to edit it. I don't know if I'm going to do whatever. I just had to sit down and record this video because I would be no better than the people that I was mad at Thomas for having to. Thomas had to constantly keep begging these grown-ass men and women to make 15-second videos to live in a house for free. It was constantly a topic that would kept getting brought up, that just make a video. Like, just, you're lay down with your phone to make a video. Like, to live in this house. The house, the Hype House A, Thomas said was $80,000 a month. That's why I'm like, this show, I love the show because it was getting down to the nitty gritty behind the scenes of what the fuck is really going on with all of your favorite, you know, influencers and I want to say favorite, the influencers that are really running shit, because I didn't know who these people were before I watched the show yesterday. But it was just like, why am I begging you to sit down and post a fucking, and then if you look at the Hype House TikTok now, I'm sure the show was filmed during COVID and around either Nikita's birthday or Larry's birthday, where they had that. So I'm pretty sure this is sometime last year in either 2021, 2020, whichever the case was. And the fact that I go and look at the Hype House TikTok yesterday, January 8th or January 9th, January 8th, yesterday. And it's Thomas's second page. It's Thomas and maybe Mia, maybe Cover, maybe Alex. And those are like the main four that you see. And I'm like, the fact that y'all had a whole TV show and y'all did all of this and shit still hasn't changed is crazy to me. Now, I fuck with Alex because Alex is someone who's like, you know, how the fuck can we get the numbers up? How the fuck can we get the subscribe? Because if we don't post, we don't get revenue. If the numbers are down, you know, we can't afford to live here. We can't, like, Thomas and Alex, they were like, we need to be making content, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, they were on their shit. And then Chase was, when I found out that Chase was trying to fucking live in Hype House B after they moved from the original Hype House, which was Charlie and them's, and then they moved to Encino or wherever the fuck, and Chase was looking for a little house on the side, and then had his manager call Thomas and say, can you pay for it? Nigga, what? And then when he was pretty much Chase, when Chase said, I have my financials under control, put the lease in my name. You know, I need to start adulting. You know, I can't. Because you wasn't having to pay for shit. So yeah, you could probably save up because you wasn't paying for shit. But I don't even know how long you was living in the house for free. That shit, ooh. And then being a fucking scaredy cat running around trying to dodge Thomas because he was scared of conflict. That, ooh, like what? Anyway, Mia rolled for her man. Mia rolled for her man. Mia was like, the kitchen, fucking disgusting. It's fucking gross. And you know what? And I fuck with Mia because Mia was a fucking normal ass human being with money. She just happens to be in a good position. But Mia and Culver, bitch. Mia and Culver. They are... God bless Nikita and whatever the fuck is going on in that head of hers. God bless her. But Mia and Culver are the normal thinkers out of all the females on the show. They're the normal thinkers. They're the ones with the fucking common sense. Okay? Mia was just like, do you see everything my man is doing for you? You ungrateful sons of bitches. Post a fucking video. He's taking you on vacation. Y'all still ain't doing shit that what the vacation is for. And then Lorraine, Lorraine. See, let's get into Lorraine. See, I was trying to see. This is how the show feels. Like when there's just a lot fucking going on. There's a lot fucking going. It felt like Degrassi, where it's like I have to keep up with all these storylines. And it's just like, and it's 30 minutes for 8 episodes. That is following about 15 to 20 people because you have their friends, you have like their side friends like Mario and Rayvon came on the trip. And I fucked with them for a little bit because they weren't really there to annoy me. So it's like they were just kind of like funny side characters that couldn't get on my nerves because they weren't shown too much. But Lorraine... when that whole thing with his manager of... I agreed with Nikita when it was like Nikita was ghosting Lorraine because Lorraine's manager blamed Nikita for Lorraine giving people COVID because he went to a party while he was COVID positive. My thing is, first of all, if you're COVID positive and you're really worried about shit, like no one can force me to go nowhere. He went because he wanted to go. So either he knew and he still went regardless, whether he went because he said Nikita forced him because she was so drunk she needed a ride, so Nikita forced him to come. So either he did not know and he gave people COVID, or he went and he didn't give a fuck. Whether Nikita forced you or not, bitch, you are a grown-ass man, period. Then, I'm sure it was probably filmed days or weeks apart, whatever the case is. But in the episode, it just seemed very convenient how you went from... Because, okay, wait, I'm skipping ahead of myself. He pretty much tried to flip it on Nikita like, I would never ignore you, I would come to you, da 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 da. And Nikita was like, that's not the fucking point. We're gonna talk about the situation at hand. Nikita said, I support myself, my family, and employees, but you try to cancel me. And that was another thing too, we're gonna get to that later. The show really focused on cancel culture and how literally these people could lose their livelihoods in a second. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think that is very true. And Nikita was like, we're not going to glaze over that. We're not talking about our friendship right now. She said, we can talk about our friendship later. But why I'm mad is because of my business. And that's why I was like, yes, bitch, like, no, we're not just going to glaze over the fact that whether you're a manager, whether... I don't give a fuck. And then Lorraine turns around and is like, well, Nikita, you're blackfishing. And yes. Yeah, she was. She was. But we're not going to deflect and just boom, on to the next thing. We're going to simmer. You're going to have to sit in your shit first. And then we can... Because I'm so glad that they called Miss Dragontail out for the blackfishing. Because Lorraine was like, he said, honey, I see you every day and you don't look like this. And I'm like, and what do you say to that? What are you going to say when someone who sees you every day in one skin tone, sees you. He's like, I don't know if it's the filter, if it's the makeup, if it's the tan, but you don't look like this. But I just felt like because Larray is the only Black Hype House member, and he was getting criticism from his fan base and the Black community for not calling Nikita out, but because he had just had his own shit that he was dealing with, I just felt like it was the wrong time to deliver the message. I don't know if the message was delivered because the message needed to be delivered or if it was to deflect. I just feel like it seemed in poor taste for him to do it when he did it. But that's what I said. I don't know if it was the editing, because, you know, it is only 30 minutes. It is only 8 episodes, whatever the case is. But it just seemed odd. It seemed weird to me. It was weird, very weird, that Larray went from giving everyone COVID and shutting down productions for 2 weeks to calling out Nikita for blackfishing. It was... Vinny. Now I want to get into this. I'm 23 years old, and I've been in college for 7 years because I transferred and switched my major. So when I transferred and switched my major, so most of my friends that I went to school with before, I'm still very close with, and I feel like those are like my adult friends. But then I have friends that I have who are in college, my classmates who are in school with me, who are 4 to 5 years younger than me. And so it's kind of like, I think it's hard to just blame Nikita for, because yes, it is weird that she's 25 and she's going after 18-year-olds or people who just turned 18. But it's like, I understand the feeling like she's living out her high school experience all over again. I understand it because these are just the people that, this is her circle. So when you're around a bunch of people who are younger than you, it's only natural that you get tied into the drama, tied into the bullshit. You're around these people, so it's like, that's kind of like your first selection of relationships, I guess. Do I think she should be going after the 18-year-olds? The 21 to 22-year-olds? Maybe. But I just feel like I understand Nikita's like 20s life crisis, if you will. Because being around 17 to 21-year-olds while I'm about to turn 24, that's literally all I have around me because I'm still in school. So all my classmates, all of my friends are around that age range unless I travel out of state or travel to a different city to see my adult friends. But back to Vinny. Vinny is 18 years old, and they talk about how he's pretty much a nerd who was blessed with this amazing body, an amazing face. And he was like, how I took it was, it's frustrating that he has something that he enjoys doing, which is gaming and Twitch and streaming and everything. But then it's like, oh, I have to pretty much get naked so I can pay the rent. And I'm like, I could see, especially at 18 years old, I could definitely see how that can be, one, just mentally taxing. And then the whole thing of having to, it was the prank that Michael, Alex, Tati, and Natty, or whatever the fuck their names are, they had to, they didn't have to, but Alex pulled the prank with these twins, one of them being Michael's girlfriend. They pretended that one of Michael's girlfriend's twin was Michael's girlfriend, kissing Vinny. Wake up the next day, the twin, who's not Michael's girlfriend, is getting death threats for kissing Vinny. And Vinny's like, I literally can't breathe without someone having some weird online ownership of me, thinking that they're my online girlfriend or this or that, like sending death threats. Like, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of definitely depressing. Like that has to be hard to go through. And I appreciate how Thomas was kind of like, I was the hot guy at one point. I've seen the hot guys, come and go. And so when Thomas was like, he turned down the TikToker versus YouTuber wrestling match so Vinny could do it. I feel like Thomas understands that these influencers have an expiration date. So Thomas is like, while you're here, I just want you to participate, grow your fan base, and then when it's time for you to go have a career beyond social media, you can do that. But the thing about Chase was, Chase wanted to fade away. He didn't want to have the conversation. Chase was too scared. I want to say he was too to just have the conversation. He tried to say, oh, I'll help you find people to come in and replace folks. No, bitch. No, bitch. Anyway. Vinny, they had this compilation pretty much of different days where he pretty much came in. People were in the kitchen eating their food, minding their business, bitch. And he was like, if somebody says something off to me today, like, I'm just gonna let you know, like, I might just punch you in the fucking face. And I fuck with Michael, bitch. I fuck with Michael, bitch. Cause, ooh, Michael was like, is this like normal for you? And then he said, oh, when I'm mad? Yeah, like that's how I am. And he said, well, that's kind of that's kind of weird. Like for me, I was like, that's kind of gross. Like, it's gross that you think that, first of all, if I'm sitting there in the kitchen eating my Fruit Loops and you come in here talking about if you say something wrong to me, I'm gonna beat your ass, and no one was saying shit to you to begin with. That is giving me anger issues and weird vibes, and you need not to let online people affect your relationships with real people that you're living with for free while I'm minding my business eating my cereal. So when Michael was speaking his true feelings and confidence, but then, of course, Nikita lives for the high school drama. Nikita runs back and tells everything that someone says about something, talking about, oh, I'm the peacemaker, No, bitch. You just talk too damn much. Michael was just like, he doesn't do shit. He's always in his room. Every time Michael asked somebody to do something, they never wanted to do it. It was just, I don't know who the fuck that, the two big boys, the two big white boys. I just couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't do it with them. It was like, get the fuck up and film. And you don't even have to get the fuck up. I went to the bathroom and did a TikTok about my roots coming in. Not even 15 seconds. 15,000 views. I don't know if it was Michael or Rylan. I think it was Michael who was supposed to be doing the first video when they were like, if it was Michael, that was the one thing that Michael did piss me off with. But it was they went to the Joshua Tree area and they were doing it's like the day that I met you, they were doing that thing where like someone's in the center and everyone's dancing around them. They're like, oh, there's too many people out here, so cringy. I don't know. When $80,000 a month is on the line, I don't know what else can just get you the fuck up and film a fucking video. And then I think it was Ryland who said, we're just a bunch of kids who have more money than we should have. You're fucking right. Are you grateful? Get the fuck up and film the fucking video, bitch. I was just like, what the? And that is the only reason why, because I was like, I wanted to do a review, but I was like, I want it to be edited. I want it to be like a get ready with me or whatever like that. But I was like, the more I try to plan shit out, the more I just stop myself from doing it and getting it done. So I was like, let me just film the video. That's why I might not edit this. I'm gonna just give it to you raw, how I'm thinking about it and how I'm feeling it, because I would be no better than them when they're behind on their brand deal videos. That's why I don't. You don't have to do anything to live the life you're living. You don't have to do anything to live the life you're living. And here you are. And Thomas is... When I tell you Thomas is my new favorite fucking person, bitch, Thomas never once did he just say, well, get the fuck out of my house. Never once did Thomas say... Thomas was too... That's why I appreciated Mia, because Mia was the one who was, how Alex said, Mia was the one who was saying the shit that Thomas was not saying. If I was Thomas, I would have been said, Thomas was going to shut down Hype House, not because of everyone acting a fucking fool, but because the shit just was falling apart by itself, because no one wanted to do shit. If I was Thomas, before shit even got back, before I had the chance for someone to evict me and get my credit fucked up, I would have said, everyone pack your shit up and go home. Me and Mia, Alex and Culver will stay in Hype House A. Everyone else get the fuck out of my house because y'all aren't doing shit. Anyone who wants to stay in Hype House has to turn in at least 8 15-second videos a day, because rent is $80,000. Thomas never did that. Thomas was too fucking nice, and that's why Mia had to step in and be the bulldog. I don't blame Mia at all. I fuck with Mia for that. Mia was probably my second favorite person on the show after Thomas. Now, Alex and Culver, their storyline was beautiful. I feel like Culver can't really be mad at Alex, because Alex was like, I'm telling you what it is, as far as, I am immature. I never got to really have a childhood, so I'm living my childhood now. Stuff that girls say about men when they're complaining about them, Alex was just like, it is what it is. Like, that is what's happening. And that's why, and so at that point, it's like Culver has to make the decision herself if she wants to stay or not. Now, Culver, I will say, was being put through, and I will say it was cruel of Alex to take everything that he knew that Culver wanted and use them for bits and everything like that. But my thing is, when you have someone telling you what it is, you can't be mad. That's when you have to make a decision yourself. When you have somebody saying, yeah, I'm immature, I'm this, I'm that, you said it, I said it, is what it is. So you have to now make the decision if you're gonna stay. So I couldn't be mad at Alex, and I couldn't be mad at Culver. I was just like, if you're gonna be together, he said what he said, she said what she said. Be together or break up, period. I don't want to hear about it no more. I feel like everything with Alex and Thomas's brotherhood is so beautiful. I feel like that when they talked about how, they don't handle things all the time in like the right way or the healthiest way, like how they should talk to people and like confront things head on before they get too bad. I just feel like that, it reminded me of sitting down with my boys and just being like, shit's fucked up. Like, we got shit we need to work on. But like, when you want to be better, that's why I'm like, first of all, Thomas, bitch. Thomas has my heart. Thomas and Mia and Alex and Clay. That's why I said Alex. Even Alex, bitch. Thomas, Mia, Alex, and Culver have my heart, bitch. Michael when he wants to. Michael has my heart when he wants to. But them four right there, fuck with them. Heavy. They are Hype House. They are the OGs. I'm not. Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like I talked about pretty much everything. Like, I loved how Alex was able to confront everything. My father actually recently just passed. And so that was kind of, a lot for me to watch. But just everything that Alex was saying and how his dad was the original vlogger, like, I just connected with that so much because my dad would make videos and pretty much inspire us to make sure that whenever we can have a camera out to not miss a moment. And I really enjoyed that storyline. I really enjoyed this entire show. It was really good. Even with Nikita crazy ass. That's why I'm like, Nikita's problematic as fuck, but Nikita is like, she's a great storyteller. I loved her confessionals. I loved her interviews. And I'm glad that Nikita was a part of the show because she opened up a lot of great storylines and she instigated a lot of things that I feel like needed to be said and get across. So Nikita is just good at her job. I wouldn't say I fuck with Nikita, but Nikita is good at her fucking job. Larray is good at his fucking job. So, but I fuck with Larray more than I would say I fuck with Nikita. But I follow Larray, and I don't think I follow Nikita, but I will follow Nikita. Vinny needs anger management. Thomas and Mia, Alex and Covert should just get married in a double ceremony. Michael, I think Michael needs to just do his own thing for a minute and really get his, with the Hype House, but I feel like he just needs to stop trying to collaborate with the rest of the boys because it's obviously they're not really trying to collaborate because Michael, he's very talented and I feel like he can do his own thing. Ryland, I don't know what he does. Chase, yeah, I think I'm done with this video. But if you guys have anything you guys want to talk about, let's discuss it in the comments. Have a little discourse because I feel like that's all I can really think of off the top of my head. I know this video is really disjolted, but I just wanted to get it out. I wanted to pay my percentage of the 80,000. I just wanted to get my thoughts out so I could do my parts for Hype House A. Hype House B, I'm sure Chase has his financials together. He got it. But yeah, I'm Daniel Leon Kit, and subscribe to all my social media accounts at Daniel Leon Kit. Hit the subscribe notification, whatever the fuck. But you want to hear my original music, you can look on my YouTube page or Spotify and Apple Music or wherever you listen to your music for Daniel Leon Kit, Daniel Leon-Kit. And yeah. Have a great day. Watch Hype House. It's not that long. It's very entertaining, very informative, I feel like. And I don't feel like the show deserves as much hate as it's been getting because of who they are. But that's exactly one of the topics of the show. But they wouldn't know that because they probably haven't watched it. Or they just literally post to hate and watch it and love it in secret. So who knows? So yeah.